Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 13th episode of the SWW's Movie Club. Or is it? No. Yeah, right? Or are we, for some reason, off
12.
one?
12. No, it's 12.
I thought Movie Club was on the same rate, but...
No. Movie Club is always... It should be one behind, though. That's how that works if you think about it.
Yes. Well, in terms of like our back end that we see, Movie Club is always one behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was Rambo week.
Oh. Which I'm gonna say it. I don't know if I told you before, too. I'd never seen Rambo before, so it was a treat. I'd call it.
I think I'd seen the most recent one from 2008.
Is that Rambo 4 or 3?
4. It's the one that's just called Rambo.
Right, I forgot.
It's like he's in the middle, or not the Southeast Asia again. Mm-hmm. And that's the one where the meme of Rambo, where they replace the gun with like a camera. That's where that's from.
God.
And also, when I started watching First Blood, I was watching the wrong Rambo.
How'd you do that one?
I think I was watching 3. Because, to be honest, a lot of the times when I watch the old movie, if it's not on like Hulu or Amazon or HBO, I will go for the next easiest option, which is trying to find it streaming online illegally somewhere. And so that's what I did, just to quickly watch the movie, because it was late at night and I wanted to just watch it.
It's 90 minutes. By the time you fall asleep, the movie's over.
Yeah. And it said, Rambo First Blood, which originally the movie was just called First Blood.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Rambo got added on in a subsequent re-release of the movie. So it said Rambo First Blood, and it started out, and it was... He was already in Thailand.
So you're like, huh.
Well, I had never seen First Blood before. I'd seen parts of it. So I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. Because when I looked up the description of it, it was, taking place in Washington. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, this is weird. I got about 30 minutes into it, realized it was the wrong movie. So then, the day that we're recording this, I watched First Blood. I just rented it on Amazon.
So I have a weird complaint. So, as we've talked about, I usually go through Amazon. I just don't deal with it. I will rent most of the movies, unless it's like, sometimes, like, I forgot what movie it was. It was like, renting it was $4, or buying it was $5. So I was like, I'll pay the $1 different in case I ever want to see it again.
Yeah.
Why can't you buy it on Amazon is what I don't understand.
You could buy this. It was $7.
No, when I looked, you can only rent it.
There were 2 options. You could rent the original, or you can buy the 4K version.
Oh, that's why I saw the original.
They're 2 different listings.
That's weird as hell.
Especially on a digital distribution backend.
Right, that's what I don't understand. I'm like, what weird deal did you make with the distributor that you can only buy the 4K version, but you could rent either?
You couldn't rent the 4K one, though.
Okay, that's even fucking weirder.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to have a general complaint here. I feel that if, say, I rent or buy a 4K version of a film,
yeah,
I should just automatically get the lower res versions.
Yeah. What, for free, or?
Or some level of, yeah, because just in general, because I understand charging me to go up, but going down, I'm like, it literally saves you money if I stream a lower version of this film.
Yeah. Well, and like when they give you when you go out and buy a Blu-ray, you get the DVD.
Right. Well, and that actually costs extra money to do. This doesn't.
I mean, does it cost like extra? I mean,
It costs them a quarter more. It costs them stupid, but something.
it costs them extra money, but it's like a tenth of a penny.
I'm not saying it's substantial, but my whole point is, though, at least that I could argue there's a tangible thing it costs them.
Yeah.
This doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, is it weird? Yeah. Does it make sense? Yeah.
Kinda. It does. It's just frustrating.
Yeah. Like, you can see the business point of it of like, oh, we'll let you rent the 4K version, but you don't get the, original. Although,
It's just-
if you rented the 4K version, does that mean you have to watch it on a 4K
No, and that's what's really weird about
enabled device? Because, like,
it. No. It just downres at 1080. Because a 4K device can read out a 4K thing, but it downreses 1080 automatically.
yeah, that's weird.
Because it's kind of like, I don't know if you know this, so like in VR headsets, they only have whatever pixel screens they have. If it's above it, technically the assets are still above it, but it only outreses as the pixels on the screen that the device can handle. Same idea.
NVIDIA does the same thing. They have a downsampling resolution. So you can render a game at a higher resolution, but then it downreses too.
So it's like when you're a child and you don't understand how like HD and SD works because how old we are. I had a PS3 when I was younger, but I still had the like 80-pound TV in the basement that was like the nice fat sucker. I got Uncharted 2. I didn't understand how people played the puzzles on those games because the text was squished so fucking small. I literally had a magnifying glass and I was like 11 trying to read this.
You want to know the crazy thing? So the
What?
TV I played my PS3 on is one of the first HD TVs.
Oh god.
It was a Sony model, so it was still a big fat thing, but it was HD. So I never had the problems that people were talking about. Because it was 16 by 9 and it was, I think, 720, or it may have even been 1080.
Yeah, I was playing on like a 4x3, like 480 screen. And it probably was, 25 inches at the time? Like,
Yeah, it was. It may have been 30. But then it had the speakers mounted on the side. So it was about as wide as a 55-inch TV.
God. I can't wait to have to... We're going to be the last generation who has to explain the, like, transition in that way. Because, like, 1080 to 4K is noticeable, but we're not changing the display size the same.
Yeah.
So you don't have these issues.
We're the last generation where a format change happened.
Right, because even 8K, it looks like it's all going to be the similar format.
It's going to be 16 by 9.
Right.
Because...
Or 16 by 10, but, like, that's not really a difference.
I mean, if you think about it, the thing that drives format change is actually the movie theater.
Right. And they're going to die, so it's fine.
And theaters would much rather go 16 by 9 because then you can scale down to 4 by 3.
Right.
Whereas there's nothing, like the only other thing would be 1:1, but that's a square. So, we're just going to go wider and wider. We're not going to go necessarily like crazy tall.
Which is fine.
Yeah. And at some point, you would just get back to 4 by 3 anyway, so...
I can't wait for like 20 years from now when we're making 4x3 games and films and it just works on our old TVs because of that.
The only difference is the 4 by 3 is like... It's 16K. Because it's effectively 4 4K displays. That's what's going to happen. So instead of it being, 4 by 3 480... It's 4 by 3, but 16K.
Nice. General stuff as we're bullshitting apparently here. Remember we have GDEX coming up in like, is it like 3 weeks? I think.
Well, as we're recording this.
So I think it'll be
If
like,
this goes live the week that it should,
which is next Friday. What's that? 2 weeks then?
yeah.
I think okay. So 2 weeks. We will be in Columbus for Columbus Day weekend and the Great GDEX Festival. We have our time. We will be in room 2, 1 p.m. on Sunday. Otherwise, catch me and AJ from Friday through Sunday, wandering the convention, BSing with people. AJ's gonna be in a Smash tournament.
I'm not going to be in it. You're going to be in it.
God damn it! I was hoping I could just get you to agree.
Speaking of which, did you actually sign up for it?
No, not.
Also, you sent me that link. I could not find the tournament.
I couldn't either. That was partially why I didn't.
So,
But yeah, apparently there's a tournament going on there. Interesting enough. But yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna be wandering Columbus. The goal is still to get AJ real drunk at that one party, but we're gonna see if that works out.
I probably won't drink a ton because if it's Friday night, I would have just driven in, so I'll be tired.
Hey, I am getting up at like 5 in the morning to fly, so
Yeah, but concentration level needed to fly is nothing.
that's true. I might be able to nap. I go from my airport to Charlotte, I think, and then to Columbus.
So you're flying American?
Yes, I think. Oh, I'm flying Delta. I think I'm flying American. I think you're right.
No, if you're flying Delta, you'd go to Atlanta.
That's true. I am flying American. Ew.
Charlotte's one of their home bases.
My flight's at 6 a.m. I'm leaving my house at like 3.
How long does it take to get to the airport?
Maybe not 3. I'm probably leaving at like 3:30. Maybe 4. It takes maybe a half hour, but if you count me parking. At least that time of morning there will be no traffic.
Yeah. You just have to fight the lights.
Mm-hmm. And then my layover is only like 45 minutes between Charlotte and Columbus. But if I miss it, there's a flight that comes out an hour later. So, like, I'm not super concerned.
Yeah.
I did that on purpose. I was like, I'd rather the earlier flight. But there's one right after it, so I don't care that much.
The thing of it is that later flight may get in like 10 minutes later than the one before it.
It was
because
something like that, yeah.
Because if the one before it gets delayed, because it's a small flight, like it's a regional flight, it's not a.
Is Columbus not a big airport?
No.
I've never been. I don't know.
I mean, the big airport in Ohio is Cleveland or Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's not that far from Columbus.
Has anyone ever talked about how Columbus is a weird state? Ohio is, because you know how like most states you think of like a big city, like you have Detroit's your big city. Like I know you have Grand Rapids, but like Detroit's your big city.
Yeah.
Florida has really like Miami and Orlando, so it's 2, but it's a giant state.
Tampa.
Ohio's, I don't know if it's that big. Tampa's not that big though, relatively. Okay, maybe Tampa, but my whole point is that like we're a giant state and we have multiple. Ohio's interesting because it's a medium-sized state, but like it has like 3 or 4 major metropolis hubs in it.
It's mainly because there's no other real population outside of the hubs.
But it's interesting because like Illinois, it's just Chicago, but like Illinois is a bigger state in population and size.
Yeah, but when your big city in the state is the 3rd largest city in the U.S., it's not that big of a deal.
But I always found Ohio in that way just very interesting of like its size and how it doesn't have like one area. It has like multiple areas, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into it, I have been playing Borderlands 3. Dan and I will record this once we both beat the game, our good Borderlands 3 review. I enjoy the game quite a bit. AJ, you ready for me to give you a solid review of this, which will make you not want to buy it at all?
It's Borderlands 2.
Yes, it's Borderlands 2 Plus.
Are you playing on console or PC?
My PS Pro.
How are the load times going into the menus?
Into the maps are great. Into the menus, the first time, I go get a cup of coffee. Second time, it works fine.
Like the inventory and stuff like that?
Oh, I'm well aware of what you're saying. It is.
Because I saw them firsthand on a video, and...
No, it is as bad as you saw. Remember,
It's
on
atrocious.
a Pro, and I put it on performance mode just to solidify the frame rate better.
Didn't I see, like, if you didn't take the first patch, you shouldn't have done that?
Yep. By the time I got it, the first patch was out, though. So.
Yeah.
Because first patch was with launch.
Yeah, the launch patch fixed the fact that if you put it on performance mode, it actually went worse.
Once you do that, it plays actually okay. Besides, so I'm not excusing the menus, but like physical, like moment to moment play wise, it actually runs fine.
Yeah, I mean that style
stuff.
isn't exactly taxing.
Which is why it makes no sense why the menu breaks on you.
It also doesn't make sense why the PC version apparently is terrible.
Right. Another thing, which I know you'll love, AJ. Do you know how, like, a normal map, you would, like, turn the map, right? You'd expect it to always face north, and you just change where you are?
I mean, some games change that. You can have it set so, like, north is always north.
This map does the rotating with you thing, which pisses me off.
So you always face north?
No. The map always faces you facing forward. Whatever your direction you're facing.
Yeah, that's
on
what I mean.
Minimap. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the map that does it, not just the minimap. The map does it. So trying to figure out where you're going, it rotates opposite.
Yeah, but when they pulled it up on the quick look, you could kind of see, like, where you needed to go, so north wasn't as important.
Did you see what happens when you go up and down on the arrow pad? It auto locks you to the fast travel places, and it just lose your place on the map. You're like, son of a fucking bitch.
I didn't see him go through that, or if they did, they didn't mention it. So
it's shockingly like first time you're like, who the fuck designed that?
Well, there's a lot of questions around Gearbox.
So I'm gonna say it. Borderlands 3 is a really fun game, and it has some major flaws. I think is the most fair way to put it.
Yeah.
So like stuff like that, I think are complaints that make it that have atrociousness to it. But like moment to moment, it's really fun. It fixes. I would say Borderlands has an issue like the earlier games where I always thought the game didn't get super fun until the second playthrough. I think they fixed that in this game by giving you like better powers sooner. Because I'm playing Zane, the operative. What's really cool about him is I can get rid of my grenade and instead have a second skill.
Is Zane the one voiced by ProZD?
I don't know.
Because I'm really curious if... I personally don't know how the voice actors union works.
Okay.
But if it's like the true SAG-AFTRA, if anyone is union, everyone has to be union.
Games are weird, I know that.
But like the actors in it, like, so not necessarily like the people working on the game would have to be union.
Right. I know games are. I don't know the logistics. I know. Remember recently they had the that strike relatively recently. So I don't remember the full terms of that one of like what was the line of how that works.
Yeah, because it'd be very interesting to see like if that's the case and everyone has to be SAG-AFTRA. Did ProZD have to go get an agent and
who is ProZD? I'm looking at the cast. I don't see this.
I don't know his real name. He's a YouTuber.
Oh, I did remember there was a YouTuber. I don't remember who plays the YouTuber. I know there is. Yeah.
Well, I can probably look it up faster.
Because it says Zane is Sion Berry.
Sungwon Cho is
Sunwon Cho is the YouTuber. That's Fleck,
Flack.
who's the Beastmaster.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, but the game still, I really enjoy the game, and me and Dan are having the argument of is it better than 2, which I'm not sure yet.
Although it looks like he may be a voice actor. Because his thing says voice actor. So he may be a SAG after.
Otherwise,
He's in Burbank, so if that's his actual address or if that's an agent address is up in the air. But
I'd hope it's an agent address. Other question for you, AJ. Did you notice that NXT is officially on TV?
I saw that.
It has happened. It has begun. That's gonna be interesting.
This next week, so the week that this goes out is the first week of AEW on TV, isn't it?
AEW is the week of the 4th.
Oh, it's the first week in October.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was in October. I thought it was like October 2nd or whatever, so when it comes on TV, or 3rd. Somewhere in that window. I know it's October. So that's going to be excited.
I thought it was only 2 weeks between NXT and AEW. Anyway, yeah, so NXT's on USA.
Yep. Which is, because remember, SmackDown leaves relatively soon.
Yeah. It's October 1st.
They're doing a mid-season draft, which I find interesting.
Yeah, just don't question it. WWE's just trying to draw ratings to Fox.
But, like, the only reason they're doing a draft is because of the Switch and also to draw ratings from AEW premiering.
Yeah. I mean, WWE's going to lose the hardcore base almost instantly.
Because if you have... Because the problem is, if you have USA, you have TNT.
Yeah.
Which is probably... I bet you the Fox move strategically is probably to help soften that blow, is the not cable people. So there's not the guarantee of if you have one or the other.
Also, I'm pretty sure even if Vince took no money for the Switch...
that's not true.
Well, no, it was a $2 billion deal. But even if he took no money, they wouldn't lose a dime. Because the numbers you're going to draw on Fox are going to be so much higher than USA.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just more viewers.
Mm-hmm.
More people capable of viewing Fox.
So even the bad week will be better than a good week on the other ones?
It should be.
It should. If it's not, you have a problem.
Yeah. I know Fox has been hyping up SmackDown pretty hard.
Because this is what I don't remember. Because I know Fox News Network is part of the new corporation. Is this Fox part of Disney, or is it part of the Fox News Channel Corporation one?
So News Corp is its own thing.
Right, because it's News Corp and sports are a thing now.
Fox as a channel is part of 20th Century Fox, which is now part of Disney.
Okay, so that's part of Disney. Okay. I didn't remember where that stopped. That's what I was curious.
It's also the reason that The Simpsons could make fun of Fox News and not get any blowback.
Because they're not part of the same company now?
Yeah. Well, they were never part of the same company.
Interesting.
Fox News was always News Corp, and Murdoch owned part of 20th Century Fox.
But he owned basically all of News Corp.
Yeah, he owned News Corp. I think he was the sole owner of it for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, the U.S. isn't the only country that he's destroying.
Oh, no.
Australia is the exact same way. So.
Nice. Okay. AJ, so I have a new game I've invented. Would you like to play the new game before or after we talk about the movies? It relates to movies.
I guess we'll play it now.
Okay, so I'm calling this game the last great movie. This game, as what I thought we could do, starting with movie clubs, is we take an actor, and we take an actor that we determine kind of like has had a iffy recent career, and we have to find their last great movie. Okay.
Okay.
To start, I thought it'd be fitting. We're gonna do Arnold Schwarzenegger. So AJ, without looking, you have to tell me, what do you think his last great movie is?
Okay, are we going based off the movie or his performance?
Off the movie.
The first
Right?
Predator.
You think his last great movie is the first Predator?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go over some
Well, hold
things
on.
you have.
Which came later, T2 or the first Predator? Because if it's
T2.
T2, then it's T2.
Okay. So you're gonna say T2. So let's go over things that you have skipped. That I'm not saying were great movies, but these are big movies that you have skipped. Okay. You have skipped Terminator Genesis.
Terrible
I assume that's on
movie.
purpose. You have skipped all three Expendables. You don't think Expendables 1 is a great movie?
The difference is a great movie or a movie I would want to watch.
Okay. No, T3, we could just skip T3. You have skipped Batman and Robin.
Yep.
You have skipped Erasure.
Yep.
You have skipped Last Action Hero.
Yep.
And we hit T2. So movies right before T2, which is why I was curious which I think are, T2 is the end of his good era, because you have, right before T2 is Kingdom Cop, Total Recall, The Running Man, then you hit Predator. I skipped Twins in there also, but that's on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say T2 is his last great movie.
Because what are Schwarzenegger's great movies? Running Man, T2, Predator?
Yeah, probably Predator,
And
the
Total
first
Recall.
Terminator, Total Recall, and the second Terminator.
I think, okay, not a joke, I think Kindergarten Cop is a fun movie.
Oh, it's a fun movie.
I'm not going to sit here and say it's an amazing movie, but, like, it's a movie that if you told me we were watching a Schwarzenegger and it's Kindergarten Cop, I'd be okay with you.
Yeah.
I do like, though, you skip... It's like, the Expendables 1 is what's interesting me, because I think there's something to... I enjoy that movie.
Yeah, it's just not a great movie.
Terminator... I am generally curious if Terminator Dark Fate will be an okay movie.
It's gonna be dog shit.
Because those trailers suck.
It's gonna be dog shit because the second they realize that Terminator is a bigger property than anything, they don't care about the movies.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to license Terminator and everything.
So speaking of movies, so I assume you have the same three trailers for this film as I did. Does Midway look interesting to you too?
Oh, for Last Blood?
Yeah.
I had Midway, 21 Bridges,
And Knives Out?
and what?
I didn't have 20 Bridges. I had Knives Out, Bad Boys for Life, and Midway.
I didn't have
That's it.
Knives Out or Bad Boys. I had Midway, I had 21 Bridges, and I had... What's the last one? It was the first one. I can't remember.
But so Midway,
Yeah.
it looks genuinely interesting to me. Like I feel like it's filmed real well.
Oh, it's all CG. It's just a CG dream, basically.
That's true. But it's still like it's one of those I'm like, you might get me to see you.
Like, the thing of it is, the CG in Midway isn't even trying to hide it.
No.
Like, it was clearly obvious. And same with Last Blood, but it was clearly obvious that they were like, we want this giant thing, but we want it as cheaply as possible.
Mm-hmm. Also, I did appreciate. I was like, "Is that a Jonas brother?" And I was like, "Yep." Does that Jonas brother normally act?
Which one is it?
I think it was Nick Jonas. I don't
Was
know
he the one
difference.
in Jumanji?
Yes, never mind. Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah, I don't think the other ones act.
I don't know if this one acts either, but that's besides the point.
Did you see though that The Irishman's going to be a 3.5 hour movie?
I'm so excited. You understand, Scorsese is his best when you just let him have no timeline.
Pacino and De Niro are also worst when they can just ramble on.
So the only example I think though, Goodfellas isn't Goodfellas like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's 3 hours.
So like I think you can let it. They need to have someone to understand why they're there.
Also, they weren't the mains in that. The main characters in. Wait, did you say Goodfellas?
Yeah,
I was thinking of Departed, but it still stands. They weren't the main characters.
that's also
Ray
also,
Liotta was the
you know,
main in Goodfellas.
You know, Pacino wasn't in Goodfellas. Pacino was it, but my point was De Niro's in Goodfellas, or
Yeah.
Casino's another one where he was fucking Casino. He was the main.
Yeah. Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Hey, Joe Pesci's in this too. Don't forget.
Yeah. This is.
So like, this is Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino. This is like the ultimate mob cast.
Yeah, but it just.
Don't
so many things
ruin
can
this
go wrong.
for me. This comes out the weekend of my birthday.
So many things can go wrong with this movie. And probably did.
But I want to see this train wreck then. I'm not going to accept it's atrocious till I see it.
Okay. Netflix has yet to produce a good movie.
That is true. So part of it is I'm holding up hopes because of Scorsese, and also Netflix paid something like almost $200 million for this film.
Yeah, but as we've seen, money doesn't solve everything, so...
That's true, but Scorsese, at least recently, has peaked his career back up.
Yeah, but you would almost want him in, like, prime Scorsese.
But he's been trying to sell this film also for years.
Yeah, but he hasn't been directing during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And now you give him his dream project. Well, he hasn't directed a movie in, 10 years?
No, Silence is 2016.
I was thinking of Wolf of Wall Street was 6
2013,
years.
so 6. So, but it's Silence. That was the weird Liam Neeson film about the priest in China.
I never saw that.
Yeah, it was apparently okay. Also, he's been directing like documentaries too.
Yeah, but directing a documentary and directing a mob film
Oh,
are
that's
two
fundamentally different.
entirely different things.
It's also really weird because most of Scorsese's catalog is biopics, which is always very interesting to me.
Yeah, they're a little easier to do.
But it's interesting because like this is too though, because this is Hoffa.
Yeah. But I'm saying just in general, biopics are easier because you have generally you have something that you can quickly look back on.
Mm-hmm.
And go, oh, okay, this is what they did. Whereas if you're directing like Lincoln,
Yeah.
there's not a lot to go back on.
Mm-hmm.
It was mainly just pictures and writing, whereas a lot of Scorsese's movies, if you can't find the person, you can find somebody either from the time or from the
or
area.
someone or you could get there relatively quickly without that many hops. I am still excited to see how much if this ends up being. Also, we're forgetting it stars Ray Romano. You know it's gonna be a good time.
Also, the fact that they had Pacino play young Hoffa.
Okay. Also, this is actually good casting. Jim Norton is playing Don Rickles.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the casting. I just think this film's going to be a train wreck.
But I'm just saying, of all casting, if someone told me who's gonna play Don Rickles, and told me it's Jim Norton, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. AJ, are you ready to talk about? I assume we'll talk about First Blood first.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some facts for you. Ready?
Yep.
Released in 1982, it had a budget of $15 million and a box office of $125 million, which, yeah, that's pretty damn good for the time. Some other things, my favorite, very interesting thing about it is that the original thing of this film was 3.5 hours, and it was so bad that Stallone thought of buying the film to destroy it.
Yeah, and then it became First Blood and First Blood Part 2.
But it's funny that, like, originally he was like, oh, this is bad. Apparently he broke down crying when he first saw it. 'Cause he thought his career was over.
Well, he had only done, one Rocky at that point?
Something like that.
So, maybe he had done the second.
I think he's done the second at that point.
Either way, he was in a franchise.
No, he'd done 3 Rockies at that point.
Oh. So he knew he was in a franchise, so Rambo didn't need to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think around this time was when Stallone was trying to be a serious actor.
Which Rambo has moments where it tries to be a serious movie.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it does it well, but it has it tries.
It tries. Same with Last Blood, but
Okay, let's start then. So Rambo First Blood. The first thing is not at all how I expected the film to start. Of him just being a wandering Vietnam vet into this town.
yeah.
Also,
I will say that's what threw me off when I started watching what I guess is the third one.
when you're like, that's not
I
right.
was like, I'm pretty sure this covers like him coming back.
Also, I like how the entire film was literally avoidable if the sheriff wasn't a jackass.
Yeah, the entire
All the sheriff
the
had to
entirety
do-
was preventable if the sheriff was just nice to the dude instead of a complete
All
asshole.
the sheriff had to be like, was the diner as a block that way? Credits. Done. Roll credits. Move on with our life. Go. That's why I texted you. I was like, the thing that angers me about this film was it was 100% avoidable.
Yes.
Like, not even a joke. You could have avoided the entire film.
Well, there were many points where they
There were
could have
outs.
avoided it.
Let him leave. Anything.
Yeah, just don't abuse him. Like, also,
Don't
if
chase him.
you were a police officer, would you look at Sly Stallone and think that you could impart
Take
your
him.
will?
Yeah, well, yeah. Also, that sheriff was a little out of weight, and Sylvester Stallone was fucking ripped at the time. He still kind of is. But then I was like, you could not have taken him.
Well, and this was Stallone, like, kind of in between his steroid phases.
Yeah, because he was like 37 or whatever at this time.
Because he was kind of done with Rocky at the time. I think 4 was about to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So he was going to get ramped back up for that. But so he was still big, but he wasn't Rocky big.
But he was still big. The
Yeah.
whole point was, if you're a cop in the middle of bumfuck Washington...
Yeah.
So I do appreciate one of the scene that got him arrested, though, was the cop dropped him off. He looked at the cop and went, okay, and then started walking back to town.
Yeah.
There was something about that was just... I was like, of course.
Oh, and then it was just like, yeah. I mean, I get the idea, right? Of it's supposed to be kind of the sentiment the entire nation had,
Mm-hmm.
but still,
But
it's
it's
like,
still, yeah, it felt such an nth degree.
like
Especially because
you shouldn't be mad at the soldiers.
also to me, I feel like I would have got that across more if like so you saw other people on the street, like if they all were like walking away from him or something to like show they were scared of him or angry
Yeah,
at him. I feel like would have shown it better.
definitely, there was a lot that could have been done. But
And just little stuff to at least show it beyond just the cop being a jackass. Because even the rest of the cops are calling him out for it.
yeah, the
Mostly.
younger ones were.
Yeah, the younger ones are like, "Why are you doing this?"
The younger ones are definitely calling him out. Um, although the dude that Rambo ended up killing at 1st
Mm-hmm.
was like taking it way too far.
But for I could so like once we get to that point, obviously, then he escapes the prison. That was okay. When he got to like being in the mountains stuff too, at least then is we got like some really cool fights and stuff, and you realize like what he was like.
Yeah, it's as the police start to realize that this guy is,
When you have the Green Beret come be like, "Don't fuck with him."
yeah, and this guy's a Medal of Honor recipient and a Green Beret, and the guy like the young sheriff is like, nah, I'm good.
Also, in general, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't like a president have to give you the Medal of Honor?
Yeah,
So like, literally, they could have looked this up. They could have looked. I know like it's a weird like there's not computers, but he could have called in and been like, what? Like, there's so much that they could have called to realize what they were in for.
also, I just realized that a scene in Last Blood makes a ton more sense now.
Hmm. What?
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay. Otherwise, I think the obvious, the peak of this film is for sure when he gets into the fight in the town, and it's actually really cool to watch. The last
Yeah.
like 10, 15 minutes of this film are fucking apeshit crazy.
As he's just breaking that sheriff down
Yeah. Turning off the lights one at a time.
while shooting him out. But yeah.
But it's still this amazing thing of like, oh, that sheriff is fucked.
Yeah. It was pretty
So,
obvious.
I'm gonna say it. Rambo still angers me, and I don't love it, but it's an okay film.
It's an okay film.
There's no story in it. It's an okay film.
I mean, there's a
Not-
blanket story to it, but you
Okay,
can definitely
there's-
see that it's setting up something else.
There is more of a story than the film we're about to talk about.
Yes.
AJ, can you explain to me what if you had to give me like an elevator pitch for Rambo Last Blood? Go.
Rambo's an old dude.
I have a question, by the way.
Yeah.
That woman who was in the house with him, was he married to her? Was he
Which
not?
one?
The old woman. Who
In
I assume.
Arizona?
Sure.
Like at the ranch?
Yes. Who was she?
She is his relation through something.
So that's why I clarified. They were not together. Because I didn't realize that till the last
No.
end of the film when I thought they were together.
No, like there's a point where she's like, you raised her like your daughter, and
Right.
as far as I can tell, the old lady is the grandma to the young girl.
Grandma. See, this is where calling him Uncle John confused me to death. Because I thought if he's Uncle John, she's Aunt whatever.
Well, because her mom dies.
Right. I knew
Her
that part.
dad's in Mexico.
Right. We get to dumb fucker.
Yeah. And yeah, I would imagine Rambo is some relation
Because
to.
like
I think
that
it's some
was
relation
not
to the mom, not the grandma, but
it,
the
it,
mom.
it's that was so like
Yeah.
so so that's a thing. Um, it's interesting because like I don't know if it's interesting. So like it starts out really weird because you're like, okay, so he's just a family man, and then for the record, there's no action in this film for like 30 minutes
At least.
of a 90-minute film to put in perspective.
Yeah, at least the first 30 minutes are just story.
The film's only 90 minutes.
I was really surprised when I walked out of the theater and I was like, it's been an hour and 38 minutes since the start time. Like, the movie wasn't even 90 minutes because
Credits.
you got to figure in there were 3 previews, so those are 2, so that's 6 minutes. The kind of pre-roll for the theater is about a minute, so that's 7.
Mm-hmm.
Credits are generally 8 minutes, so that's 15
I bet
minutes.
you though, the runtime is the 89-minute runtime is not including that stuff.
No, it normally is.
Oh, I got who everyone is, by the way. It is John Rambo's father's horse ranch, his old friend Maria Beltran, and her granddaughter Gabriel.
Okay.
Which fuck. So what? So let me. I want to make sure I have the story correct. So whatever there was, they have the talk. Then they decide that she's gonna have a party in the tunnels, which, okay. Then someone calls her and something happens, which my assumption was at first that something happens while everyone left, but apparently not.
That's what I thought too.
Because that's what they made it look like. Then we find out that she found her dad, who Rambo does not like for some reason. Then she goes, okay, I'm not going to Mexico. The next day, goes to Mexico anyway.
Well, there's some exposition.
Not much. Don't act like there's much.
Well, but it gives you the idea of why
Right.
Rambo and the grandma don't like the dad.
Then she meets the shadiest fucking friend I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Like, if you blindly said, if you put everyone in front of me and said, name the person that sells the girl out, I would have picked her.
Yeah, it's pretty
You could
obvious.
have put everyone in the entire film. Like, that's the most, like, stereotypical shadiness I've ever seen in my life. It was her.
Yeah.
Especially when she stares at the gold bracelet, you're like, oh no.
Yeah. What is it? Chekhov's gun. If you show something, there's a reason.
Yeah. And then it's so she goes sees the dad. Dad says she doesn't love her, and then he goes, "Now I'll never come back." So then after she gets off, she's on the phone, being like, "Yeah, I'll bring her." She goes, "We're going to a club." And then she goes to a club. She starts talking to a guy, and then you see him drop something in her drink. Cut to black. Fade up to the slave camp.
Yeah.
Or a hotel, or
Which-
whatever the fuck.
If he dumped that much of a substance into a drink,
Yeah.
that would leave a sediment to the bottom because they show like
Like he dropped a frickin'...
a tablespoon of whatever it is.
He dropped a couple tablespoons by the look of it.
Like, it's not just a little sprinkle of roofie.
So...
It's like a
This is-
tablespoon of Coke that he dumps into it. I'm like, good God.
So, I'm going to say the thing, AJ. And I'm going to say what I was thinking, and then I was correct for the record when I was thinking this. If this isn't the point of the film, in my head, I was like, I bet you when I get home, I will find a Vice or a Vox article I could look up that would say something like, this film doesn't understand the time we are in, and it's too anti-Mexican. I go home to find an article on, I think it's Vice, that was, quote, Rambo went full MAGA. I was like, the subheadline does not understand the time we live in.
If anything, it fully understands the time we're living in.
But fuck it, AJ. The moment we watched this movie, I was like, someone wrote that take.
Yeah.
Because of course, what does it show? The border wall like 5 times.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's just get into it. The idea, that article, probably written by a white person.
I'm not saying it's not. And also, I'm sitting here and I'm going to also sit here and say that article, while they are serious, is bullshit. That's what I'm also going to say. I didn't say it because I believed it. I was saying it because I could read the headline in my head already.
Yeah. Like, what they don't understand is this franchise is not a 2019 franchise.
Right.
This is a franchise from the 80s.
Also, I'm going to say the real controversial thing. Are you ready for this one, AJ? Not everything has to relate back to Trump.
Yeah. Like, it's a real, it's a problem here in the States of guys drugging girls.
Right, this is an actual, like, I will admit it. They're talking about an actual thing that happens.
Yeah. Like,
which obviously we all agree it shouldn't happen. But this isn't, like, what the film was talking about is not this, like, oh, they're saying that, like, this, yes.
Like, everybody knows it happens. And, like, the fact that it takes place in Mexico doesn't have any effect on it.
Right, the story is not, the story doesn't matter because it's Mexico, actually. The story could have taken place, the only reason it matters is because his whole line of the cops won't do anything is why I have to do it.
Yeah. Well,
That's
it could have been international. It could have been...
Right, it could have been anywhere. He could have hopped on a plane and done it.
He could have been in Thailand, where he was in the third one. He could have been in wherever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take your pick of a country where the justice system is very corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
This movie could have taken place there.
But yeah. So then we get into the fun thing. So then Rambo eventually goes down because he finds the girl who eventually we figure out obviously did take her because he sees her wearing the gold bracelet. I loved the fucking moment when he pulls the knife out on the table. That was a good moment.
I was totally waiting for him to just clock her.
Right? Like, poof.
And if that happened, I could totally see the articles of Rambo is a wife beater. Like,
but she deserved it. Like, we can't sit here and say she wouldn't deserve it.
Like, pump the brakes, people. Yeah, it's the reaction culture.
It's absurd. So I liked that. That's when eventually she points out who we see a weird person who we find out's a journalist, which makes no sense.
That whole, until you find out who she is, that is the creepiest thing. Like,
I thought it was like an undercover, like federal agent. Which would have made so much more sense to me.
The way she was acting meant that she wasn't, because, like, she was terrified, but she wasn't going to do anything.
Right.
But like, until you find out she's a journalist and that her sister died, they show her, and it's like, I'm like, okay, I never saw the 2008 Rambo. Like, I saw 1 and 2 at the time a while ago. 3 I had only seen bits and pieces of. And now I'm watching this. Like, is she some character from
his past?
Yeah, his past that I don't know about.
But yeah, so you meet her, and that's we'll get to her in a second. This is where we get to the scene that we were talking about before we started recording, AJ. Of he fucking takes the guy who took her, and fucking beats him to his death, almost to the point where. So shoving the knife in him is one thing. Popping out his collarbone and breaking it almost off.
Well, and what they don't show is he stabs him like in the stomach or in the shoulder, and then he stabs him in the leg, Well, if you don't really see the first stab, you only see the second when he stabs him in the leg. So then when he goes in to get his collarbone, it looks like he just pushes straight through the skin. But no, he
Yeah.
had already cut him, and then he shoved his thumb in there
Which is so
to
fucking.
irritate the wound, and then he breaks the collarbone.
And then he's like about to break it off, and that's the moment of. Ugh.
This film was, in a way, funny to me. It's like,
Okay.
there's no way. He did it, that's awesome. There's no way. Like,
That's true. There are. So then after this is when he goes and sees where everything is, and then he gets beat up to shit by like
Yeah.
150 people,
yeah.
and then he gets branded, and then they're like, okay, now we're gonna go brand her. When they pull up the needle, I wasn't sure what they were doing to her originally.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't realize
yeah,
that
it
was
wasn't
a sedative.
it wasn't quite clear, like, okay, is she on like basically a heroin diet?
Which apparently she will be, which I don't understand the heroin diet.
I think the reason they do that is it numbs all responses, basically.
But why is she on? I understand why she's on a heroin during like cutting her, but why in general?
Because it makes them much more, like, just, I think it's for them to basically not struggle.
Okay, but then the next thing is, how much fucking heroin kills you in 4 days?
Well, when he shows his arm, it looks like they had been feeding her a steady diet of heroin for
Which my understanding
like
is
3 injections
not-
a day.
which from not like I've done heroin, right? I'm gonna stick with that one. I thought heroin lasted like a decent chunk of time.
As
That's
far
what
as
I
I know,
don't
it does.
understand.
So
That's what I didn't understand.
I'm wondering if it was like they got her to the point, and they just kept injecting her to keep her at that point.
Maybe
That's the
It's
only
like-
thing I could think. Like,
It's so fucking. So during this time, while she's going on her fucking buffet over here, Rambo's recovering for 4 days in the journalist's house.
yeah,
Also, Rambo is way too calm when he wakes up in her house. Like, I expected her to walk back in and he's ready. He like has a knife on her, being like, "Who are you?"
well, I have to imagine that he went through that whole ordeal while she was gone.
Half, or maybe half awake, kind of during most of the recovery.
Because
Like he kind of knew he was safe.
yeah, because when we see him up and attentive, like, he has clearly taken a shower and washed his
Right.
clothes, and like, so he has been cognizant for at least an hour.
Right. So there's all of that. And then he goes and to take her back. Apparently he could, when he wants to, wipe out 100 people at a time. Just not when he's doesn't want to.
Well, but he did it more of like picking them off
Yeah.
one or two
Which
at a
is
time.
cool fight scenes. But then he grabs her, and then they do their sad car ride back as she dies. Which I didn't expect her to die like that, gonna be honest. Once he had her safely, I thought she'd at least make it back to the States.
Yeah,
like,
it
to
was
the
a
barn.
little on the nose. But I guess in a way, this, like, if this is truly the last Rambo movie, that's the only way you could do it.
Right. So he gets back. Grandma gets all sad. He goes, "You should go to your sister's." Which, okay. At this point, apparently he's ready for a fight because he's prepping the fucking barn. Which, setting up these traps, I was like, oh, this is going to be a fun fight.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
you could see, like, okay.
This is in his eyes. He's ready. Then I like this. So he goes back to Mexico, gets the journalist to go point this out again, which I thought he already knew where everything was, which I didn't understand that.
Well, he knew where the one house was, but yeah, I don't know.
So then he does that, goes on a little killing spree, which I wasn't quite sure. I thought he was just killing the lackeys. I didn't realize he was killing the brother. Which was fucking crazy when the other brother got there. I also like how they kind of show that like the Mexican government just kind of works with the cartel.
Yeah.
Because there was cops and armed security there. It gets there and like when he had no fucking head, I was like, holy shit, Rambo's serious.
And then
he drops the head on the road. He's
crash cut to Rambo's truck driving down the road, and then all of a sudden his head pops out the window.
Which is good. Then Rambo goes back to the barn and waiting, I like how he puts a knife through the headless guy's chest with a picture of the girl. He's like, "We're gonna get him." Which, okay, so what's this probably? A couple months later, they just have this guy's ID on their list of IDs apparently.
Well, yeah, they took his ID when they.
Okay, but that's probably months later. I assumed they just would have at that point just let it go if they didn't go after him.
Well, I have to imagine that it was. Like, I think their response to Rambo killing the other brother is within maybe 2 days.
No, but that's true. But what's the difference between Rambo escaping with the girl and coming back to kill the brother is the question.
Probably a couple weeks.
That's my point, though. I'm surprised they didn't retaliate then. Because they made some sort of comment of it, and that's what I expected to happen, but they didn't.
Well, they didn't want to do anything because he was a U.S. citizen.
So to them, that was just lost cause, whatever.
They're it was lost cause of like, and they probably knew the girl was gonna die anyway.
So they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we come back, and then apparently fucking 50 of them cross the border. I like their underground tunnel to cross the border.
So I've been watching Mayans MC, which is kind of the spinoff / sequel to Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
And it's set in Southern California, and they deal with the border crossing stuff all the time. With the tunnels and all that.
I like how Rambo also, I forgot to mention, he just drove through the fencing on the border.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering like if his property borders up to the border.
It looked like a little bit of a drive after, though, but yeah, that's interesting.
Well, you never get a clear idea of how big his property is.
Yeah, it seems you do when he fucking blows it up.
Well, but that's his what? Like his front yard? In front of the barn? Like, you know, how much more is there?
There's a lot of tunnels.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, the underground tunnels I think are interesting. And that was a fun little thing of them being ready.
Yeah. Well, and I almost wonder if, like, so did Rambo, like, go down and hand cut all of these tunnels? Or did
his dad have them?
Dig them out? Or, you know, none of that's explained.
Of course not. It's 90 minutes, AJ. You don't explain much.
Yeah.
And then we get to the part where we all knew would be the fun part of the movie. Which is him just killing every motherfucker humanly possible.
Yeah, the beginning of that fight where he lights off the
yeah,
the firebomb is okay. It's when it gets into the tunnels where
he just fucking wipes them out one at a time. Like I like the part where they just drop into the spikes.
Yeah, I did a couple of those traps.
Those are fucking intense fuckers. I like how that he shot people to be safe afterwards. Whenever they got hit with the trap, which was pointless. When they landed in those spikes, they weren't getting up.
Yeah.
Like, they're not happening. Then at that point, we do the entire fight. Slowly, Rambo gets shot when he messes up. Then you get to the final thing when the guy gets to the barn and Rambo fucking arrows him to the fucking wall.
Which, perfect foreshadowing with the playing cards.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like, oh, you know, it's targets in
Practice.
different areas, yeah.
Nope. So I like how deliberate that was. That means. So then at this point, you have this where Rambo's about to die, which a part of me, I wondered if Rambo was going to die before he finished the job, looking at him. 'Cause how pale he looked and stuff.
No, there's no way you let the baddie win.
So what Rambo does now it should be, in theory, the gruesome part of this film, but is not. Which is to cut open the man's chest and rip out his still beating heart.
And then he just drops it on the ground.
I wanted him to squeeze it, or a part of me I go, do they have him bite it? Like just something to show how much he doesn't give a fuck anymore and he just wants him to suffer.
Yeah. Well,
and then
he had also, like, there were many mentions through this was basically how it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because they, like, the entire movie, they're talking about the pain in the heart. And then when he stuck the photo to the brother, he stabbed him in the heart. And then, yeah, when he kills this guy, he rips his heart out.
So there's all that. Then it ends with Rambo going to the porch where we assume he dies. I like the credits in this film because it shows. Then it jumps to the credits, which I like shows all past scenes of the films.
Which makes you believe that he rides off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense when you think about he let all the horses go.
Yep. Which I think is a metaphor that he died.
Yeah. Oh yeah, riding off into the sunset, but...
Mm-hmm. So yeah. That is Rambo, Last Blood. AJ, would you recommend this movie to our fine audience?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's just a fun, like... If you want to go see a fun action movie, this is it.
Okay. So I'm going to say the controversial thing. This film would have almost been better if you just cut the first 30 minutes and made it an hour-long film.
Yeah.
Because, like, we didn't get to Mexico for, like, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, why was the exposition so long?
Well, they needed to make it seem worth it. It was the same way in First Blood. Like,
Okay.
the exposition is like 25 minutes of that 90-minute movie.
That's true, but I feel like First Blood was trying... I don't know. Like, to me, the exposition felt way more necessary in the sense of... Because it was about Rambo, comparedly to, like, what... like, I don't know. Also, this essence of, like, comparatively looking at what the other Rambos are about, it's so small scale. Comparatively. This is really just Rambo's revenge tale that kills him.
Which is all the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend it. Just for fun. Don't go in expecting anything. The CG's absolutely horrendous.
Yeah. Especially when they die in the blood stuff.
Oh, the driving got me more than the blood.
Really?
It's terrible green screen.
Hmm. But yeah. That is both of my movies for the month. An interesting month, I'll call it. We'll see. But,
Yeah.
AJ, it's fine. Because I think we both know next movie's month, but at least be calmer.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. I think we both had the same idea for next month's movie.
It'll put a smile on our face.
Well, we'll keep a smile on the face if we have to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah. AJ, any other thoughts you have about the Rambos as we continue?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, we would like to thank you guys for joining us for this fun adventure we have here at Movie Club. Remember, you can follow the SWW Show on Twitter at the SWW Show. You can follow AJ at that Detroit Boy. You can follow me at Mikey_Maroney. You can find us at G-Ducks during Columbus Day weekend. We'll be there Friday through Sunday. TheGDucks.coms for tickets. Remember, we have a Borderlands 3 review coming up soon. We have some fun interviews coming up over the next couple weeks that we've gotten hooked up, and hopefully at G-Ducks we'll get a lot more for you guys. And all of that fun stuff. We'll catch you guys very, very, very soon. AJ, can you say goodbye to all the lovely people?
Guten Abend.
Oh, fucking foreigners. This podcast was a product of the SWW Show. You can find more at the swwshow.com or facebook.com/the SWW store or twitter.com/SWW. You can find out more about Mike at Mikey_Maroney on Twitter and more about AJ at LoCBor on Twitter. Remember, new episodes come out twice a month, one focusing on the new entertainment news and one focusing on movie club, so a new and an old movie. You can find out more again at the swwshow.com, and you can find the show on podcast services around the globe.